On January 27, 2015, the city of Los Alamitos presented its annual State of the City address and luncheon. The traditional keynote speaker for this year's signature event is the incoming mayor of Los Alamitos, Richard Murphy. He performs the honors before a capacity crowd of local dignitaries and civic leaders at the Eagle's Nest Banquet Hall.
Okay. Right. And there's only so many places you can be. Oh, that's an awesome idea.
The mayor's comments are preceded by presentations from several local civic groups, after which the mayor is introduced by Master of Ceremonies and host for the event, Los Alamitos City Manager Brett Plumley. Welcoming all to the event and commencing the proceedings is Los Alamitos Chamber of Commerce President Josh Wilson.
I want to say welcome to our 13th annual State of the City for Los Alamitos. My name is Josh Wilson. I'm from Southland Credit Union, and I'm the chairman for this year for the Board of Directors of the Los Alamitos Area Chamber of Commerce. At this time, it's my introduce our city manager, who will be the Master of Ceremonies for this evening. He's been serving since November of 2013, but he's been a lifelong work in city government. He's previously a city manager of La Puente, and he has 2 daughters that live over in Seal Beach, and I see him regularly attend the city events. So it's my honor and privilege to introduce our city manager and master of ceremonies, Mr. Brett Plumley.
Thank you, Josh, very much, and I am very pleased to be your host today, and very happy to see all of your faces here and all of your support for this great community that we live in. And we're just very excited today to present to you our State of the City 2015 for Los Alamitos. And at this time, I would like to thank, previously as you were coming in, we had the Los Alamitos String Quartet. They were playing and entertaining us this morning, and I'd just like to give them a round of applause. At this point in time, I would like to invite Lieutenant Colonel Nathan Range to the podium, and he will come up and introduce the color guard, followed by, the mayor wanted me to do the national anthem, but we don't want to clear the room, so there will be a national anthem will be done at the conclusion of the color guard. And with that, Lieutenant Nathan Range.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Mayor, Council. Color guard, post.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night
Okay, that was Staff Sergeant Marcella Johnson of the 40th Infantry Division who delivered the national anthem. Thank you.
At this point, I would like to introduce the invocation by Pastor Ray Hobb of Cottonwood Church.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day that you have made for us. And we thank you, Lord, for the great people of this city and the people that you have placed in this city to lead and direct and to provide service to the community. We thank you for every part they play and for blessing the work of our hands. And we ask as we continue in this year that you continually lead us, give us wisdom and direction, and continue to pour out your love and your blessing upon us. We thank you for this time. In Jesus' name, amen.
Okay, you may be seated. At this time, I'd like to go over the list of dignitaries that are here with us today. And starting with our own city council, City of Los Alamitos, and our mayor, Richard Murphy. Over here at this table, we have our Mayor Pro Tem, Troy Edgar, Councilmember Dean Gross, Councilmember Shelley Hasselbrink, and Councilmember Warren Kusamoto and his wife Judy is here as well. Now I'll introduce our city staff from City of Los Alamitos, and if you can just hold your applause until I can go through the list of employees that are here. We have our Chief of Police, Todd Mattern. Over at that table, the majority of our staff is there. City Clerk, Wendy Quintanar. We have our Community Development and Public Works Director, Stephen Mendoza. Administrative Services Director, Jason Alimam. Recreation and Community Services Director, Corey Lakin. Executive Assistant to the City Manager and the Benefits Coordinator, Chelsea Wilson. And I stole her from her mom at the chamber. Thank you very much, Johnny. Recreation Manager, Emily Noda. And Recreation Manager, Ron Noda. So if I can have a round of applause for our great city staff. And now I have the list of elected officials. Again, if you can hold your applause until the end, from Congressman Alan Lowenthal's office, Robin McCray and Mark Polito. Mark is also serving as the mayor of the city of Cerritos. From State Senator Janet Wynn's office, Nat Serslev. From Assemblyman Travis Allen's office, Michelle Schutz and Colin Edwards. From Michelle Steele's office, Senior Advisor Keith Chatprapachi. From Southern California Association of Governments, Kevin Gilhooly and Hassan Ikrada. If I can have all of them stand up and we can recognize them with a round of applause. Now I want to recognize our Joint Forces training base that's here from the military today. And I will go through the list and we can recognize them all at one time as well. Colonel John Lathrop is here, Deputy Commander, California Army National Guard. Colonel Michael Leaney, Chief of Staff, 40th Infantry Division, California Army National Guard. Lieutenant Colonel Nathan Range, Deputy Base Commander, Joint Forces Training Base. Lieutenant Colonel Joel Armstrong, Joint Forces Training Base Garrison Commander and Director of Sunburst Youth Academy. Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Sibley, Commander of the Airfield. And the Chief of Staff of the 79th Sustainment Support Command, Richard Chacon. Also, all military, including our Sunburst Youth Academy. If all the military can stand up and be recognized for a round of applause, and we greatly appreciate the service that you provide. From our surrounding cities, our partners in the cities that we have with us today, City of Cypress, Mayor Rob Johnson. Councilmember Paulo Morales, Councilmember Stacy Berry, and the City Manager Pete Grant. From the City of La Palma, we have the La Palma Councilmember Steve Wangbo, La Palma City Manager Ellen Volmert. From the City of Seal Beach, we have Mayor Ellery Deaton, Seal Beach Mayor Pro Tem David Sloan, Seal Beach Councilmember Mike Barapapa, Seal Beach Councilmember Gary Miller, Seal Beach City Manager Jill Ingram, and Police Chief Joe Stilanovich, as well as Seal Beach Chamber Board of Directors President Vince Bodiford. From the City of Stanton, we have Mayor Al Ethans, Councilmember David Schauber, and City Manager Jim Box. And from the City of Westminster, we have Diana Carey, council member. And Rossmore Homeowners Association, we have Bev and Milt Houghton. If I can have all of our community members, cities, and Rossmore please stand up and be recognized for the great service that you provide and the partnership that you have as well. We also have with us from Cypress College, the president, Dr. Bob Simpson, and Columbia College, Carl David. Okay, I also wanted to recognize from the City of La Palma, Peter Kim is here. Mayor Peter Kim. We also have from La Palma Councilmember Michelle Stegel is here as well. Right, that is our list of dignitaries, and at this point you can feel free to begin your salad, and as Dr. Sherry Kropp would say, eat, eat, eat. And I also, at this time, will welcome back to the podium the chairman of the Los Alamitos Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, Josh Wilson.
All right, thank you, Brett. Yes, as Sherry said, it's always eat, eat, eat. We go to the chamber of breakfast, we want to make sure that everybody keeps eating and the plates keep playing so that we know that we can move on. But it's my time now to, at least honor to, introduce the board of directors for the Chamber of Commerce. So I can introduce, and please stand when your name is read, and I'll call and hold applause to the very end. Ryan McLaughlin from Edward Jones. Dave Boyer from Wells Fargo Advisors. Dan Schwartz from Pacific Premier Bank. Leanna Ferris from State Farm. Councilmember Dean Gross, who's also our RMAC chair. Shelley Henderson from the Orange County Breeze. Trini Jimenez from BNSF Railway Company. Judy Colbeau from Green Street Interiors and Encore. Dr. Sherry Kropp, the superintendent of the Los Alamitos Unified School District. Mark Langsfeld from Build a Workspace. Donette Palmore from Nearing International. Nisi Stewart from Printmasters. And Jennifer Vaughn from the Gas Company. Yes, please stand and be recognized. I also want to recognize, too, some of the chamber staff that actually made this event possible. Tony Haggard from and Gwen Sneed from the chamber, and as well as our CEO and fearless leader, Johnny Strohmeyer, who's instrumental in putting this together. So please stand and be recognized for it. So I get the honor and privilege of starting off with the State of the City. And the theme for the overall is it's going to be a great place to be. And what that means for each of the entities that we have, whether that be for the chamber, for the school district, from the city. And it really kind of struck me as a great place to be is why I personally came to Los Alamitos. You know, I worked here for a few years, and after involved with the chamber as well, I decided to move here. And I did this for a number of reasons: safety, education, but really it's the values that we have within the community of Los Al. It's something that's special. It deserves to be protected. You know, businesses that embrace this philosophy, knowing what we have here, have really truly thrived. I'll give my own business, Southland Credit Union, as an example. You know, years past, we sponsored the 50th anniversary celebration for the city. And through that, we sponsored many events, Race on the Base being one of them, Weasel's Road to the Chamber, the Sugar Festival we've had for the past few years. And we have seen, at least for our own business, growth beyond what we can imagine for any of our other branches, because we have truly embraced what we feel is the culture, giving back to the community. And it comes back with value for the chamber membership. So we designed the value, or at least for Southland, of giving back within the community, and the chamber is a conduit for that. But that value is not universal for every business that's in here. And that's why the chamber at least is going to focus on 3 core philosophies, and that's communication, advocacy, and growth. regardless for what business that you have, finding values will be different for every single one of you. It's going to what's really puts you in the map. You're brought here for different reasons. And the main reason is because you want to be successful. That success is determined on many different items. So as a chamber, we want to emphasize that. We want to communicate. We have many different avenues, and I'll kind of explain some of what we have to offer. But through that communication, it could be through email blasts, it could be through our newsletter, it could be networking through here too. There's lots of chamber does that can be benefit from all of our businesses. And communicating that is key. And along that is advocacy. This event is possible because the city has allowed the chamber to do that. And that's not something that we take for granted. We are very thankful for the city's partnership that we've done this. I was talking with Tom Lasser earlier, and he said, when we first started this, there's about 25 people that showed up for the State of the City when the chamber first put it on. Having everybody around here too is a testament to how much the city, the school district, Roaring Forks Training Base, and the business community have come together to make this city something special. And our relationship with the city is we're able to advocate and at least communicate that position. So if you do have an issue and you want it to get resolved, working through the chamber helps that. You have access to your council members who are in attendance. They can help those kinds of items. And they're open and listening to it because the city knows how instrumental business is, and we know how instrumental having a city that's open is great. The last part is growth. Every one of us here want to grow and succeed. Every one of our businesses want to flourish beyond the borders of this town to be a true regional impact, regional player. The chamber wants to be a part of that growth. And we are here to help that. We are here to embrace the philosophy of business growing. And part of the mission is having your businesses grow, helping along as well. So some of the ways the chamber brings value. I want to give some of the events that we do have. First is we have our cultural excursions that we offer. It's really kind of a great event that we do. Last time we had Costa Rica, we've had China trips, and upcoming we have a Spain tour in April. So it's an opportunity to get out, and we've had local members of the community really enjoy the time here, the chamber excursions. We also have our networking breakfast. Now, this is truly special. It's the first Friday of every month, and we have everything from marketing community leaders, district attorney, to other business leaders speak about many different topics of businesses. We're actually holding them right here at the Eagle's Nest on the Fridays. And also time for to honor new businesses. So on the photo you have on the right, that's going to be all the new businesses that were enrolled for the chamber in 2014 for Los Alamitos, which is really great. We also do something for the last 30 years, is honoring the Los Alamitos finest officers and personnel through our Police Appreciation Luncheon. This is also truly a remarkable event too. We have military recognition as well. Police officers are here, and they get to bring their families here recognition and honors for the accolades that they've had and how the opportunities to save lives within their community. We also put on the legislative mixer. This is a Joint Forces Training Base, where representatives from each level of government are given an opportunity to address their constituents. It's an opportunity to at least meet and greet legislators in a forum that's open and fantastic for at least to get issues out. And we also have our annual Silver Cup Challenge, which is our local golf tournament. This past year was benefiting the Los Alamitos Education Foundation. And we had a record attendance for this past year in partnership with them. So through the chamber, we have many different committees. And at least for myself, I started off with the Young Professionals Committee. But we have other ways of the chamber to get involved. And our ambassadors are a great example of this. So they visit our local businesses, they're really kind of foot soldiers on the ground, and they interact with business owners, business managers, find out what the local issues are, and gives a great channel for the board to work with. We also have the Black Law Committee, which is the Legislative Action Committee of West Orange County. It's kind of a mouthful. But we meet monthly, and the representatives from LEA's offices discuss issues within their district, within their region, and really kind of provides a forum as well for us to get the advocacy and the communication element out between businesses. We also have the Regional Military Affairs Committee, which is headed by Councilmember Dean Gross, and that promotes the Joint Forces Training Base as a vital public and military asset to the region. And it's a testament of the military professionals that we have here today. Another partnership, I'm going to say, this kind of thing that we have is partnership, is the Young Professionals Group. Now, this started a few years ago, and we really kind of want to look at this as an opportunity to engage the youth within the community, young professionals that are here, and give them an avenue to train and to develop for the future. One of the events that we did was the Winter Wonderland. And not to steal any thunder from, I think, from Mayor Richard Murphy, but I want to say this was the absolute best event that we had, and it shows a true partnership that we have with the city. Over 3,500 people attended. It's a free event for the entire community. And this started with working with the chamber, young professionals, the city, Parks and Recreation Department to really bring this event out. It benefits local charities in Los Alamitos, but with over 25 tons of snow play. If you guys didn't see the event, it's really a great one, and we're looking forward to having that for next year. And last is for our signature event. This is for our Wings, Wheels, and Rotors. This really kind of ties in all four of the entities here between the business community, the chamber, the city, and the Joint Forces Training Base. We have regular attendance in the tens of thousands. It's held in October of every year, and it's a chance for the military base, Joint Forces Training Base, to show what they do there, and also for us to give back. And one of the ways we do give back is donating a portion of proceeds to the Morale, Welfare, and Recreation Fund, Joint Forces Training Base. So in a moment, I'm going to call up Dan Schwartz so that we can present our check. But I do want to say, on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, thank you very much for the business community here. You guys together, and I think everybody in this room, has made it possible for us to have this tight-knit community close by. Success of your business is paramount for that, and it helps out everybody. So on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, I want to say thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you again for allowing us to host the State of the City, and also thank you for being members of the Los Alamitos community. So with that, I'll call up Dan Schwartz and present the check. Dan Schwartz is our past chairman.
Okay, the Wings, Wheels, and Rotors event is a great example how we've worked closely for the last 13 years with the Joint Forces Training Base. It's become a labor of love for hundreds of volunteers who help put this signature event together. So I'd like to introduce the chairman of the Wings, Wheels, and Rotors and Expo committee for last year, retired Lieutenant Colonel Tom Lasser. Tom has been chairman for the past 5 years, and he started helping us with the event in 2002. So we're very grateful for his commitment. So Tom, if you could come forward. And then I'd like to ask Beverly Rigney, Kathy McNally, Johnny Strohmeyer, and Carl David from the Chamber to come up for the presentation. And Lieutenant Colonel Nathan Range, Lieutenant Colonel Joel Armstrong, on behalf of the Joint Forces Training. Don't try to put this in the ATM, okay? So on behalf of the Chamber and our great relationship with the Joint Forces Training Base, we're giving to the Morale and Welfare Recreation Fund $19,556.90.
On behalf of our senior commander on the installation, Major General Haskins, the division commander, and all of the tenants of the organization, we desperately thank you, because as you know, it's a base that was built in 1942, and we have a lot of issues on the installation, and it's thanks to donations like this that we can improve the facility, which benefits all soldiers and their families. Case in point, last year, with the proceeds we received from this event, we were able to spend over $20,000 on a stove that was desperately needed to provide meals for soldiers and their families. So your proceeds that you provide to us 100% go in direct support of our soldiers and their families, and we thank you very much.
I really want to thank the volunteers, the committee, Bev, Kathy, Carl that are up here. I want to thank the chamber, and I want to thank the city. I want to thank the base. And I've been doing this for 14 years. My contract's running out. So anybody that wants to take over the chair, please raise their hand. Shelby? Anyway, thank you very much. It's turned out to be the largest outdoor event in this area, and it's a challenge. We've already started planning for next year. We'd always use help, donations, and sponsors. So please stop by the chamber and offer your services for your checkbook. Thank you.
Okay, I believe lunch is going to be served soon, so it gives me an opportunity to stand and to recognize our sponsors. And for that, we could not be made possible for this event. So from the Los Alamitos Medical Center, our sponsors, it is going to be Susan Morales. Stand to be recognized. From Care Ambulance, Rob Campbell. From BNSF Railroad, Trini Mendez. Southland Credit Union, Renee Leger, Matt Herrick, and the rest of the executive team from Southland. From Columbia College, Carl David. Janelle Lumber, Brandon Peterson, and Steve Schroeder. Southern California Edison, Janelle Bader. From Cottonwood Church, Pastor Ray Hobb. From Public Services, Mark McGee. Los Alamitos Unified School District, Dr. Sherry Cobb. First Community Training, Alan McLean, and also the Forest Lawn Flower Shop for their centerpieces. That's the Leslie Gracious event. So thank you to all our sponsors. I guess now's my time, and I'll hand over. But where's introduce me?
Now you can eat your lunch, and we'll have a little bit of a break before our next presentation by the school district. If I can get everyone's attention. Here we're going to start the presentation back up again. And our next part of the presentation will be about the Los Alamitos Unified School District. Another great partner of the city of Los Alamitos. We have a fantastic relationship and just a top-notch school district that we're so proud of here in our community. And I am pleased at this point in time to introduce Diana Hill, the president of the Los Alamitos Unified School District.
Thank you, Mr. Conley. I really appreciate that. And before I get started, I would like to introduce our Board of Education. And so if I could have our clerk, Karen Russell, stand. Dr. Jeff Barkey, Dave Boyer, and Meg Gatuli. These are my fellow board members, and I'm really honored to serve with them. So I would like to thank the council and the mayor for honoring us and allowing me to speak about our school district. It is just something that is extremely close to my heart. But I do want to give you a little piece of information that you might not know. You can see up on the PowerPoint that Mayor Murphy and I are there together. Mayor Murphy and I are neighbors. We basically live down the block from each other. So it is an honor to be here and speaking with you today, and also to the Chamber. This is just a beautiful event and so well done, and we really appreciate the opportunity to come together and to celebrate. I've lived in Los Alamitos for 20 plus years. My husband and I moved here because of the education and to find a place to raise our children. Little did we know that the city of Los Alamitos would become our home, would be the place where we launched our children's lives, where they come back to when they call home, and it is absolutely a great place to be. So I'd like to give you some highlights about our district. We have 9,900 students, but I'd like to focus a little bit on our employees. We have 950 employees that the district employs, and many of those, a large portion of those, are employed in Los Alamitos because our 4 largest campuses are in the city of Los Alamitos. We have one great educational foundation, and they support our district. And just, I can't do it without giving a little plug. So they have their big event coming up, which is the King and Queen of Hearts. And we have a couple candidates in this room. So if you're looking for a king or queen, I can direct you to one. Also, we have one mission, and that is igniting unlimited possibilities in our students. And we work at doing that every day. And what I really like is that when we do that and our students go out in the world and they start their careers, they go to college, and then they decide where they want to come back and raise their families, they come back to Los Alamitos. And I know many of you in this room have done that. So we want to keep igniting those unlimited possibilities. These are some additional highlights about the district, but just a couple of things that I want to point out. If you notice, we are number 7 in California for closing the achievement gap, 1 in 11 districts in California for the achievement of English language learners. Now, a lot of people don't think of us for that. And then also, we are one of 6 in the United States of America being on the College Board Honor Roll. So that's all spectrums of students, because we are that focused on every student. So no matter what the student needs, we achieve at that level to give that student what they need. Few other of our district highlights. I will not go through every one of them. I know you can all read in this room. But what I will say is that in the great city of Los Alamitos, you have the number 87th high school in the country. And I think that is phenomenal. So I also want to take this opportunity to thank many of you in this room that are taxpayers, because we passed Measure K, a bond several years ago, and it has modernized all of our school sites. And we are working on our last 2 sites right now. And if you've had an opportunity to go by, you may say, well, that was a lot of money they spent, and what exactly did they do? Well, we did everything from gutting from the inside out. So they are practically brand new. Now we're getting a chance to go back and also making them aesthetically beautiful for our community and for our neighbors. So I thank you all for that. As well as during that time, and I'll go into this in a little more in detail, there was a lot of strategic things that had to be done with the city of Los Alamitos because of where we were modernizing some of our fields and stuff. And so that was a tremendous partnership between the city staff and our district staff. You as a city, the most important thing at the city is making sure that your citizens are safe. For us as a school district, it is making sure that our students are safe. And the partnership that we have with the city to do that has just been tremendous. We have many task force, and those task force, many police officers and other city members sit on those task force so that we can really make sure that we're aligned with safety all the way across the board. Also, there are many other things that we partner with, but the school resource officer has just been phenomenal. And that is a partnership between the district, the wonderful city of Seal Beach, as well as the city of Los Alamitos. We all share in the cost. However, Dan Brandt, our officer, is underneath the chief, and he is an employee of the city of Los Alamitos and the police department. He has done so much to really change and help our culture at our high school. So we're very, very grateful for that. So I alluded to it a few minutes ago, but the partnership that we have is just very important in making sure everything works in our community together. So we have a working group, which I am honored to be a member of. We have a couple of council members, a couple of school board members, and both city staff and district staff. And together, we are able to communicate things and to keep things flowing. And one of the things that, once again, I'll reiterate, because the city uses many of the district's facilities for their parks and recs, and for their softball leagues, and their basketball leagues, and their soccer leagues, all their adult leagues. And when we were going through modernization and we were shutting down fields, the way that the city staff and our district staff worked together to make sure that nobody was shortchanged, that all of our students as well as the community got a chance to continue those activities. So I'm very grateful for that. Also today, if you were here early, you may have seen a chamber quartet playing, a string quartet playing, and they were wonderful. There are students. And at every city function that I get a chance to go to, our students are always asked to be part of it, whether it is performing or whether it is volunteering, but that connection, to be able to have them connect to where they live, to be able to connect to civics, all of that is so incredibly important, and I really appreciate being able to do that, and I hope you enjoyed them today. We certainly did. And lastly, I will say that our board has a mantra, and our mantra is that we keep the main thing, and that is our students at all times. And I know that with the city of Los Alamitos, we keep the main thing, and that is the betterment of our community and of our students, and also, as the Wall Street Journal has said, as being one of the top 10 neighborhoods where you get your best educational bang for your buck. So Los Alamitos is my home, it is warm in my heart, and it is a great place to be. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Diana. Appreciate it. That was a very nice presentation, and once again, it shows the fantastic partnership that we have with our Los Alamitos Unified School District and this great city of Los Alamitos, and a great place to be. I also wanted to mention today our city attorney, Kerry Reisman. Just wanted him to stand and be recognized, city of Los Alamitos. He's here with us. At this time, we're going to give you a little bit of 2.5 to 3 minutes of entertainment for your viewing pleasure, a short video presentation. So I will turn this mic off. I'll give the signal to Corey. I want to thank also, just real quickly, Corey Lakin, Stephen Mendoza, Chelsea Wilson for their great work in helping the chamber and helping everyone put this together. They just did a great job. If they can be recognized as well. With that, we'll have a presentation video.
Because you know it's all about LaSalle, go Griffins. It's all about LaSalle, go Griffins. It's all about LaSalle, go Griffins. It's all about LaSalle.
Slow. Yeah, it's pretty simple. We ain't no number two. We hold that Uno spot just like we're supposed to. Our
I want to give a special thanks to our superintendent, Dr. Sherry Kropp, for allowing us to share in the video that had been previously produced by the school district and allowing the city to be a part of it. So thank you very much, Sherry, and thanks to the school district for letting us be a part of that. And now, at this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our City of Los Alamitos Mayor Richard Murphy.
Thank you, Brett. You'll notice there's carried up a lot of papers, but please be comfortable. It's all about the slides. And I did get some very sage advice as I came up here, which was from someone who's seen many more of these than they care to count. And they told me, Richard, just remember, nobody ever wished there were a few more slides. Be comfortable and we'll get out of here. My colleagues and I would like to thank you for attending this year's State of the City. I am the Mayor, Richard Murphy, and as you can see from our partners at the Chamber and the Los Alamitos School District, Los Al is a great place to be. You know, as I look out in this room, I see everything that makes Los Alamitos what it is. Our citizens who volunteer freely of their time and resources, our city employees who do all the work, let us take all the credit, our charities, our corporate partners, our small businesses, our award-winning school district, our police, our Chamber of Commerce, our medical center, our neighboring cities, and our partners at the base is a combination of all that you do that makes this a great place to live, work, and have fun. As I look out further to the golfers in their shorts, I also want to thank today that I don't live in Boston. Did you ever wonder what a city does in the course of a year? We're excited to report the accomplishments the past year, including 96 new businesses opened, 369 building permits issued, a lot of money raised in property value, 40% reduction in Part 1 crimes, 4% increase in the number of arrests by our officers, 1,532 lineal feet of sidewalk replaced, 2,800 lineal feet of repaved roads, 2,500 attendees at the 4th of July fireworks spectacular, 9,000 attended the race on the base, 4,200 attended one of our 796 contract classes, 3,500 attended the Winter Wonderland event, 4,772 meals delivered via our senior citizen lunch program, and 250,000 people attended swim lessons, lap swim, or competition at the USA Water Polo National Training Center at the JFTB. So we're pretty good. Throughout the year, we've been noticed as the 9th best city in America for families, the number 5 in the top small cities in California, and number 1 in the top 10 walkable cities in Orange County. Even though we didn't do much, we're going to try and grab some of the credit as we recognize Lieutenant Colonel Joel Armstrong and the Sunbirth Youth Academy, who were recognized by CBS National News for the work they're doing in truly changing young lives. Congratulations. Our first department to highlight is city administration. So you can I assume you know who wrote most of this. Administration works behind the scenes to ensure successful synergy. This past year, City Manager Brett Plumley successfully recruited our new Administration Services Director, Jason Alimam, and Executive Assistant Chelsea Wilson. Other key projects include implementing staff training, developing policies and procedures, and building the team. Highlighted on this slide are the employee health fair, the employee luncheon, and our new red shirt Friday recognizing our military that are deployed. We are extremely fortunate to have 5 hardworking volunteer commissions that assist us with planning, traffic, LATV, recreation, parks, and cultural arts, and fortunately our rarely used personal appeals committee. Each year we recognize and thank our commissioners for their volunteer work, dedication, and efforts that they provide for our city. Here's a picture from last year's December dinner. On the far right, you'll notice our former mayor, Mayor Mejia, could not be with us today. I just kind of see an irony that she did all the work for a year and I stand up here and take all the credit. It's a pretty good job. We're also proud of our city clerk. Had a kind of a odd year this year for a city clerk. Her key accomplishments included updated the Conflict of Interest Code, guided us through the unique 2014 election, which ended up and being canceled for only the second time in city history, installed 1 new and 2 incumbent council members, successfully recruited 12 new commissioners. We really want to thank the volunteer commissioners. Continued training to ensure compliance with laws and best policies, introduced paperless agendas, and implemented internet website and private policy compliance. Okay, how do we spend your money? Led by Administration Services Director Jason Alimam and his team, the city constantly maintains a balanced budget. This past year, we paid down and reduced the city's pension liability and successfully implemented pension reform through labor negotiations, whereby employees agreed to fund 100% of their share of retirement. To make sure our pension obligations are met, we set aside $3.15 million in reserve to meet the city's unfunded pension liability, bringing the city's funded status to over 80%, which is the industry standard. As a result of these actions, Standard & Poor's upgraded the city's credit rating to AA+, the second highest ranking possible, and truth be told, for a small city, probably the highest ranking possible. The city has paved the way for a strong fiscal outlook for years to come. The operating revenues of the general fund have consistently exceeded expenditures over the past 6 years due to actions taken by the city council to balance the budget and build reserves. This has paved the way for both short-term and long-term fiscal sustainability. But as you can see in the last year, expenses met revenues, so required vigilance will be required in the future. Fortunately for us, our assessed property values continue to rise as a result of community investment, such as the expansion of the medical center and an overall healthy, stable market. We're excited to begin the necessary process of beautifying our community. Taxable sales receipts have risen over the last 3 years, which reflect a strong, robust economy. Another vital branch of our city is our Public Works team, led by our Community Development Director, Steven Mendoza, who's also working the slides. From alley reconstruction to park and tree maintenance, they are making Los Alamitos a beautiful place to be. Keeping our commitment to public safety, the city has enacted a speed hump policy program to protect our children. This program has met with great support from residents, not quite as popular with those who like to use our alley as a short freeway. The Public Works team is overseeing completion of the city's newest park. Through the foresight of the previous council, a grant from the Rivers and Mountains Conservancy, and the continued effort of Mayor Pro Tem Troy Edgar, we were able to convert unused space into a beautiful open space for the entire community to enjoy. And we will be having a bike path join the park soon. Recreation and community services are really what this city is all about. They had a banner year. The 4th of July event continues to be an outstanding event while maintaining free maintenance through sponsorships. Through the cooperation of our neighbors Cypress, Rossmore, and Seal Beach, we have produced an event that attracts 25,000 spectators while remaining revenue neutral. We are proud of the outstanding events that are coordinated and organized by the Recreation and Community Service Department, led by Director Corey Lakin and his team. We now are happy to offer online class registration with the addition of an easy, safe, and convenient registration process. This will allow individuals and organizations to effortlessly register for a dance class, swim lesson, or softball team from the comfort of their home. As our modernization continues, we will soon have the ability to allow online business licenses also. On February 28, 2015, the Southland Credit Union, I don't know where we'd be without you guys. annual Los Alamitos Race in the Base will take place with nearly 5,000 participants and thousands of spectators. The reverse triathlon is now the largest in the country with 1,220 registered in 2014. A huge thanks to Southland Credit Union, Los Alamitos Medical Center, and Republic Services as this year's top sponsors, helping this event to continue to flourish. Whether you want to participate, volunteer, or just watch, I invite each of you to join us as myself and my colleagues as we attempt to win the Commission and City Challenge that was issued by the Parks Commission. Little Cottonwood Park was host to our annual Halloween trunk or treat and spring carnival lunch, which each had more than 15,000 residents, hunting for treasures or Easter eggs, playing games, and shopping at the vendor fair. As Josh said, the Winter Wonderland was beyond belief this year. In just 3 years, this event has tripled in size. The entire event is funded through no impact to the general fund, thanks to the efforts of the Chamber, the city staff, and several local businesses. This is truly a wonderful event. Last year, if you came, you could feel the energy as you walked onto the street, and was co-produced through a partnership between the Chamber of Commerce, Young Professionals, the City of Los Alamitos, the Bandai Foundation, those are the Power Ranger people, and countless other sponsors. Our community pool at the Water Polo National Training Center had the most activity in its 19-year history. Over 250,000 people visited or used the pool within this last year. We are afforded the opportunity to have this great asset in our community thanks to the partnership with the Joint Forces Training Base and the cooperation of Lieutenant Colonel Range. Thank you. Our seniors are near and dear to us. We are pleased that with the assistance of Congressman Alan Lowenthal, we were able to maintain the senior lunch program through the recent federal sequestration. We have doubled Balance of Fitness classes registration since its inception in 2008 to more than 50 seniors. This class provides seniors with a free opportunity to increase mobility, which helps them remain an active part of our community. Here they're playing some sort of proactive bingo, where I think you just flash your own number and it makes the game, everybody wins, so everybody's very happy. We are pleased and proud of our outstanding public services provided by the Los Alamitos Police Department, led by our police chief, Captain Todd Matter. This chart reflects a 40% decrease in Part 1 crimes in 2014, making Los Alamitos one of the safest communities in the state. Other key projects completed in the 2014 year by the police department include implementing an electronic citation system, and they coordinated a multi-agency DUI checkpoint that evaluated 3,800 vehicles, resulting in numerous arrests during the operation. In addition to the top-tier public safety that we provide our residents and businesses, we are becoming more prepared for emergencies. This year, the city participated in the Great California Shakeout. Thank you to the supporting services manager, Cassandra Palmer, for organizing and coordinating the event. Thanks also to the city staff and our partners, including representatives from Southern California Edison, the gas company, and the Orange County Fire Authority. The city's police department recently received recognition for both Behind the Badge OC, a public safety publication, and the OC Breeze for becoming an educated police department. For the first time ever, all sworn officers have bachelor's degree or higher. We believe this is the first time that this has been done by a police department in the state. Congratulations, Chief. We move on to our Community Development Department, again led by Director Steven Mendoza. Small business is very important to Los Alamitos. In 2014, 96 businesses opened their doors. They are treated like family. I'd like you to meet a few of our new family members. Mark Langsfield from Build It Workspaces, Joe Maggiore from the soon-to-be-open Brew Kitchen Ale House, Ryan Salvani from Simply O Juice, and Jenny Ferguson from Water Safe Swim School. all small business pioneers in Los Alamitos. Mark Langsfield was recently awarded a $100,000 grant to train and educate unemployed veterans. We're glad to have him in the community. As you know, opening a small business is truly an all-American story, and the opportunity to make one's dream come true is truly the embodiment of the American dream. We salute and thank all 96 new businesses who chose to make Los Alamitos home. Some of the outstanding community projects that have been accomplished over this past year included the exciting new medical office building and the adjacent parking structure. In 2015, we look forward to the startup of Phase 2, including new patient care rooms. The Catella Shopping Center housing Mustards and Maderas is also undergoing a facelift, and the city is excited about the new partnership between St. Isidore Historical Plaza and Cal State University at Long Beach to envision land use options preserving the site. Just like to take a private moment to thank all those who fought the battle for St. Isidore's and the Comité des Amours. It's a 14-year battle, and at times I'm sure they thought they had no chance, or I know other people wondered how they were ever going to pull this off. Somehow they did. But I think what's important is it shows what a small group of committed citizens can do. And there's numerous stories of that during the year in Los Alamitos. And for those people who take a stand and really make something happen, we really, really appreciate your efforts. In 2015, the city will begin to consider improvements to Los Alamitos Boulevard. We look forward to your participation in public outreach as we attempt to modernize our city. A great place to be also includes the many important local charities which provide shelter for our youth, services for our poor, and preservation for the community. Los Alamitos is all about the partnerships working together, making Los Alamitos a great place to be. We hope that this will continue through 2015, and we thank you again for coming to the 2015. We look forward to seeing you at the next Los Alamitos State of the City address. Thank you.
And that concludes our State of the City. As you see, there's centerpieces on the tables. So whoever has the closest birthday to today gets to take home the centerpiece. And thank you very much, and we will see you at next year's State of the City.
John Underwood for LATV in the aftermath of the 2015 State of the City. We're just kicking off the year for our fair city, Los Alamitos, with our new fair-haired mayor of Los Alamitos, newly minted Richard Murphy. Richard, you stand and you indicated in your speech today, a very good speech by the way,
Thank you.
You indicated that you stand on the shoulders of those who really laid some groundwork in 2014 in a lot of different directions. How do you hope to build on that in 2015? Things like our revitalization program, our business retention program, things like that.
Okay, well, I think, first of all, to me, the most important thing is going to be balancing the budget. As you saw from the one slide, expenditures and revenues were almost equal last year, and it's a battle to keep the balanced budget, but I think we'll be able to do it. Hopefully, sales tax and property tax will increase enough to give us a little bit of a cushion. Revitalization, I think, will be a big theme for 2015. When you drive our city, we do need to upgrade to compete with all the new shopping that's around us. I mean, on every side, Hawaiian Gardens, Cypress, and Seal Beach. Those are newer shopping centers than we really have, and I think we could do a lot just beautifying our streets to make the city more appealing.
You know, one of the things that you pointed out, and I really didn't know this, that Los Alamitos had been earmarked as a pedestrian-friendly city.
Yes.
Is that a direction that you think maybe we should go in terms of that revitalization program?
Well, I would hope that as part of the revitalization that we become more have a destination where you could go walk. I mean, even though we're walkable now, I think we have a long way to go to where we need destinations for people to walk to, you know, get them out of their cars. And there's some potential places, you know, between the shopping center and the space, Pine Street, you know, between St. Isidore's and the shopping center, and, you know, with the beautiful Shenandoah area, you know, something like that. And like I said, I think just improving the look of the street without even changing the traffic patterns could lead to something there.
Okay. How do you see the city of Los Alamitos positioned negotiation-wise with our neighbors, especially to the east, city of Cypress? You know, we dodged a big bullet last year with the lack of a prologue, just to put it that way. It looks like something more friendly to Los Alamitos will go in there. We don't know what it is exactly at this point, but will you be speaking with, and will the city of Los Alamitos have any kind of a voice in what happens over there?
Well, I think our courageous citizens will make sure we have a voice. Hopefully, the project looks to be a little bit more in line with what we were promised, what they were promised in Cypress when the measure actually passed. I think it's 2 years ago now, that this was more in line with what they were told was going to be there, and it does not appear as onerous as a trucking facility did. But there's still stuff to work out, and we're in talks with Cypress.
We know that in the city of Los Alamitos, we have, being a small city of 12,000 people or so, and our business community is somewhat small too. We have some businesses that fortunately have stepped forward and taken a lot of the sales tax revenue burden on themselves. Yeah. We have 4 or 5 businesses that have really kept us afloat. Do you see that roster of businesses in Los Alamitos expanding under your administration in 2015?
Oh, we're hopeful. There's a project going on now that we really can't talk about yet because it's not all signed, sealed, and delivered. They're still buying the real estate, but we think could definitely change what Catella looks like down the road. Brett and I, the city manager, we are going to go out and touch every major business and as many small ones as we can, just to find out what we can do better. And that's really, anytime I go to an opening of a business, that's really the question I want to ask the new owner on the side. How did we treat you? You know, why did you pick us? And like we had 96 new businesses this year. It's a pretty good number, and it's I applaud anybody who's willing to live that part of the American dream and take that risk, because you have Hewlett-Packard started in a garage, but you also have a certain amount of failure rate. So there's unlimited success, and there's the other side of the coin too. So, but at least you get a chance to try it and realize your dream if you can.
One of the big real estate irons in the fire, if you will, in Los Alamitos, and has been for some time, a lot of talk up to this point. Do you see any motion advancing for us in terms of City Hall, replacing City Hall, our current on Catella location, with retail, and moving City Hall to another location? Do you see anything in your administration year as mayor that you could see some daylight in pushing that forward?
I would say in my year, we're going to move the ball forward, but to actually see the progress you're talking about, I think we're a couple years down the road. The most important thing is, even if we can sell our parcel and raise a substantial amount of money, we then have to replace it. So as you have known from the city council meetings, there have been discussions with the base about some land over there, maybe some joint use of land over there. That would financially be the most feasible, because that would allow us to take the sale of the land of the current city hall and move it into the building of a building over there. It's certainly desirable. I mean, the goal to get off Katella certainly makes sense. As with many projects, the devil is going to be in the details and figure out how the money works. And we may get down the road and figure out it doesn't work, that we have to stay here, or hopefully, we were able to work with the base and do something.
Okay. Well, of course, the devil is always in the details, and my job is to ask questions and then walk away and let you guys answer them. But it is a question that's on a lot of people's minds, how to invigorate retail in Los Alamitos and put it on Katella primarily, which is where our traffic patterns are.
I think that's where the beautification part is so important, that some of our older shopping centers just aren't physically as appealing as some of the competitors, and that hurts you. I think that people quit shopping where you are because it's nicer somewhere else, and that's why I think you need to constantly be reevaluating and reinventing yourself.
Of course, parkland in Los Alamitos is always an issue, and the city bit the bullet a few years back and bought the property that is now on the corner of Katella and Bloomfield, Laurel Park. Do you see in the development of any other lands in Los Alamitos that might be utilized as public parklands?
I don't see it, other than the new park, the Coyote Creek, park, and bike path to come. I think that's going to be, an addition of, and that really cost us no land. We kind of reclaimed land for that. But we're really running out of open space at this point.
Is that going to be a reality for 2015, the Coyote Creek Parkland and bike trail?
Yes, it will. It's basically almost completed now. We're getting there. We have to thank the Rivers and Mountains Conservancy for giving us the money to go ahead with that.
Well, there's a lot of people had a hand in it, and a lot of former council members and current council members have kept it going, and I have a lot of faith that you in 2015 will guide us over the horizon and into a better Los Alamitos for 2015. I'm talking to Richard Murphy, the new mayor, City of Los Alamitos, at the 2015 State of the City.
It's all about Los Al, go Griffins. It's all about Los Al, go Griffins. It's all about Los Al,
Slow, Al. Yeah, it's pretty simple. We ain't no number two. We hold that Uno spot now, just like we supposed to do. Our school's got everything. We banging out your speakers, all the fly kids and all the best teachers.
Inside our classrooms we're teaching and learning more, with iPads and Chromebooks, prepping that Common Core.
Cause we got swag, can't make it stop, cause everything we put our minds to, we always end up on top.
See, my mama only bought me clothes that were red and blue.
Red and blue.
She says that way you'll always have spirit in what you do.
Have spirit.
So when I hashtag Los Al rocks out every sport we play,
Rockin'.
I look good in my selfie, games where we cheer and sing.
Insane.
Because you know it's
All about Los Al, go Griffins. It's all about Los Al, go Griffins.